So, I'm making this video not for sympathy, not for people to care about me, not for, people to come, crying to me. I think I'm doing it more as an outlet. I think I'm doing it more to vent out what I'm feeling. And I'm also kind of doing it to, if it gets shared and someone, feels the exact same way I do and can help me figure out what to do in the path and, things like that, that would be the best outcome, because I do need help. I just wanted to talk about, a few things, like mainly depression, anxiety, why I do the things I do and act the way I do, and lastly, just, how much weed has helped me cope with a lot of this. I didn't really know what depression was growing up. No one talked about it in elementary school, which they should. We're so busy learning the human body. You're in 5th grade and, your teacher says the word penis and you all hysterically laugh, or, we try and learn the female anatomy. But no one asks you, like, hey, are you sad at night? Hey, do you, sometimes feel down and you don't know why? It hit me in middle school. I was in maybe like 6th grade when I was just miserable, and I don't know why. I was just a miserable child. We would be having family parties, and people would be downstairs having a great time, and I'd be in my room sulking, and I don't know why. I didn't want attention, and I didn't want my family coming up and bothering me. I felt like an outcast from my family, and I'm not sure why. At the time, they weren't as accepting as they are now. I was goth, like in middle school, like parachute pants, chains. I listened to Good Charlotte and stuff like that. But that was the style I wanted, and I was kind of the only one in middle school. So I got picked on, but I wouldn't say that was the cause of my depression. But middle school was the first time I self-harmed, and that kind of opened up a door, and I liked it. It was something I had control over, and I could do when I felt down, and I hid it. I think the first time I did it was on my leg with like a wire hanger and like some jewelry making kit or something. And I just kept doing that, and then, kids in middle school, and when I started hanging out with friends, they were like, you should drop the goth thing, you should wear this, wear that, guys will like you if you do this, and you're a kid, so I went along with it, and I dropped the whole, had the black bracelets up my wrist, and I dropped that, but the feelings were still there, the wanting to cut, the depression was still there. And it wasn't talked about in my household, which is nothing to my parents. It's not their fault. I didn't speak up about it either, but, I didn't know why I felt this way, why I didn't want to socialize, why when my whole family's having a great time, I just want to be stuck in my room. High school was pretty much the same thing. I continued to self-harm, got caught a couple times. Guidance counselor tried to talk to me, but I didn't know why I was doing it. I still don't, I don't know why I was doing it. Maybe a little bit for attention when I was in high school. I had a boyfriend that I didn't think liked me, so maybe I was doing it for that. But I really don't know why I did it. Went to therapy, but never really talked about it, never got down to the root of it. But I can now kind of see it was because of lack of confidence. I don't have confidence in myself. I didn't, still kind of don't. I would say that I still don't. But one of the worst things that you can say to someone who's depressed and has depression is, what do you have to be depressed about? I have a good job, 2 good jobs. I have a car, I have now a scooter bike, I have 2 great dogs, I have a great sister, a best friend that I live with, really good friends. What do you have to be depressed about? I don't know. If I could, sorry, we have 4 dogs in the house. If I could control it, I wouldn't feel this way. I learned in my family that it's genetic. My aunt, unfortunately, passed away from suicide. I've attempted myself. And the other worst thing you can say to someone with depression and who has attempted suicide is, well, if you wanted to kill yourself, you would have. Well, I don't know about anybody else, but that just adds fuel to my fire. If you say, well, if you wanted to do it, you would have done it. Well, that just makes me want to prove you wrong and just say, all right, well, since I didn't do it last time, I'll do it this time. Again, why do I think that way? I have no idea. I wish I didn't think that way, but, it just makes me feel like people don't take it seriously. I agree, if somebody legitimately wants to kill himself, they'll find a way, but it's not always they want to. I felt like I had to. I felt like this was the answer. I didn't necessarily want to do it, but I felt like this was the only answer. I did it through my wrists, and I also bought a rope. But again, it's not that I was like, I'm gonna do this, I'm killing myself. It was more like, I feel like this is the only way out. I'm gonna attempt to do it. But, I did. I freaked myself out. It hurts, first off. And, there was something in the back of my mind that, was saying, don't do this, don't do this. But the feeling is still there of wanting to be gone. Basically, I don't care about myself. I care for others deeply. I care for animals. I'm die-hard vegan. I will do anything for an animal. I'll run in the middle of traffic to save an animal. I'll stop traffic. I'll climb the highest mountain to save any animal that needs help. My friends, I will give them anything they need. Money, clothes, a place to stay, a ride, anything. I will do anything for the ones I love and the things I care about. But I won't for me. And I don't know why. I don't care about myself. I don't like myself. Again, don't know why I feel this way. I feel easily replaceable. Like we hire somebody new at work, and my automatic thought is, they're here to replace me. They're here to work me out. I never feel like I'm good enough. That comes to my friends too. I just feel like I'm never good enough for my friends. A good enough daughter, a good enough sister, a good enough best friend, a good enough dog mom. And I don't know why. I don't care enough about myself to fix myself. I went to therapy and I stopped going. I cared in the mental hospital, I was like, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm really going to try this time. But I got out, I cared for a little bit, and then it just goes away. And I don't know why I don't care. I try and find things that I enjoy to do to keep me going. Dog training I love. I'm in a whole separate zone when I'm training. But the stars just aren't lining up right now enough for me to be training full time. And, sometimes I feel like I'll never get there. So, I don't know why I don't care about myself, I don't eat well, don't sleep right, I don't take care of things I need to take care of, laundry's piled up, room's a mess, car's a mess. I don't have the care to do those things because even though it'll benefit me, I just don't care enough. And again, I don't know why. There'll be days where I'm like, oh, feeling myself, post a cute picture of myself, whatever, but for the most part it's a front because I don't care or like myself. I don't know how to add fuel to my fire to get me going, to help me care. Hi, Drogo. My dogs keep me going, my sister, my roommate keep me going. But I also look for other people and things to care about, so it distracts me from caring about myself. So someone's interested in me, I'll just put all my attention in that because it keeps me from worrying about myself and thinking about myself. My mind is my own worst enemy. People, ask me, why don't you meditate? I can't even be in a room with silence. I can't sleep without a TV. I walk dogs for a living. I have to have music on while I'm walking, or my mind just goes and it wanders, and it can just go to really bad places. I want to be able to just go to sleep without a TV on. But when I lay down to go to sleep every night, I'm hoping I don't wake up the next day. Even if I had a great day, even if I was out with my friends or anything, even if I had the best day ever, I still go to bed hoping that I don't wake up the next day. And I don't want to feel that anymore. I want to be happy for the next day to come. I want to look towards the future. I don't see 5 years ahead. I barely see next year because I don't think I'm going to make it to that year. Maybe I need a life coach. Maybe I need to go back to therapy. Maybe this, but this feeling just never goes away. I'll distract myself with something that will make it seem like it went away. But then when that situation ends, it's back to hating myself. The other thing I wanted to talk about was medications, which I'm so back and forth with, and so, do I need them? Do I not need them? Are they good for you? Are they not good for you? Are pharmaceutical companies just drugging you? Is it something you really need? I use it as a crutch. I don't try to better myself, so the only way to keep me stable is to use them. So I just use my mood stabilizer, my antidepressant, my anti-anxiety as crutches. One of those crutches for anxiety was Ativan, and I became too comfortable with it. I wouldn't say I was necessarily abusing it. I was too comfortable. So the minute my chest got tight, the minute I felt a little bit of anxiety coming on, just taking them. So I realized that that's not comfortable. That's not the way to do it. I can't even drive on when I take them. So I realized that was something I needed to stop doing. So my sister was like, no pressure. Why don't you try smoking weed? So I tried it, and it worked. Bender. It worked. It calmed my anxiety. Yeah, I was a little hungry and a little lazy, but it calmed my anxiety. I felt relaxed. My mind wasn't racing at 1,000,000 miles a minute of, the bad thoughts that I always have. So that, it's really helped me, and I use it more of a medical purpose than any other purpose. Not all the time, sometimes I just want to come home from work, I'm tired, and smoke a little bit, but for the most part, it's medical use. Anxiety is what can spiral me down with the depression. So if I smoke a little bit, I'm not spiraling so much. All I'm really asking from anyone is to guide me in the right direction. I want this to maybe help other people too, and just be like, hey, I feel that way too. I'm still here. I've come a long way in a year. but it's kind of like a rise and then just like stop right there. And I need to keep going, and I don't know how. And I need to figure out how to love myself, and I don't know how, because I don't. I repulse myself like 100%. So I just want this to guide in me into the direction, maybe someone sees this and they say, I know how to help, or I feel the same way, let's talk about ways we can help. So that's pretty much why I did this. I don't even know if I'm going to post it. I could have just did it for me, just to vent out, but for anyone that is watching that suffers too, like, I promise you, you're not alone. We're in this together. The world sucks. A good half of my depression is because of the world. Being a diehard vegan and seeing these tortured animals, that's enough to make me not want to be on this earth. And I know I'm making a difference and doing better, but it still exists and it's still there, and I still hate it. And I don't know how to get myself out when I'm already that low, because I'll put on even more depressing music, read depressing things, look up even more depressing pictures and things like that, and just sets me down. So I don't know how to spin it and try and get myself out of it. So we'll see. Hopefully this reaches someone and we can do this together, or they know ways to move forward and come out of it. Or maybe I just did this to hear myself talk. I don't know. But if you did watch, thank you. If you didn't watch, it's okay. I'm not asking anybody to watch. But if you did watch, thanks for hearing me out. Till next time.